What did I do wrong this time? Can anyone hear me? Can I be heard and seen? I'm waving. This is how I wave. It's always a two-handed wave for my amusement. Okay, good. There we go. So let me repeat what I was saying this whole entire time. Okay. Mon Capitan, hello, thank you, glad to have you here. Albin Carbonhead, we're going to talk about you today. And Aerospace Smith, I am glad there are people here to welcome me because now I feel good. And I only wasted 2 minutes or so just talking to the air because I didn't check my audio, just like the bin. Let's first discuss what the rest of the Second Dynasty team are doing. Ben Mowbray has been on holiday, allegedly. However, I keep hearing him fire up Maya, and he's been working on the Mark IV shuttle stretch goals. And he forgot about the 2 extra milestones from the Frontier. That's very exciting. There's a link in the description below about that Kickstarter if you want to learn more. Albin has been working, Albin's been working on the Star base, the next generation tiles. I forget what they're called, but he's been working on those. He's done stairs, or the stairs completely done now, and he's working on some other parts of it, and it should be done by this month. This will be the last month, and we still hit the deadline we promised of 2 months. Then Lisa Lot is working on. I have COVID, so you gotta forgive me, okay? Literally, I tested positive and been fighting it, and this is the first good day. Uh, Lisa Lott's been doing the Pegasus bundle in 3DO. I mean, she's doing the instructions because I just finished creating the bundle. It's now available. Very excited about that. And that's what the rest of the team is doing. Now, let's take a look at our timeline. In August, we are going to have the mini rover, I promise. You already got your Air Starfighter and the Pegasus bundle were done, so now I can get that mini rover getting worked on. And I even got a 0.6 millimeter nozzle, and I ordered a Revo Micro so I can swap it out to so I can do way faster test prints. But don't worry, I'll still do a full print of the rover in 0.4 to make sure for most people. In September, we're going to get that miniature release from Kayoshineko. This is from our tribes. If I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. Maybe it's Shuniko. I'll go with Shuniko. That sounds better. Kayoshineko. They did the Martian Raider and the oh no, if I go to it, you'll see the hidden stuff, so I can't show it. But you'll see the Martian Raider and a little space engineer cat that moves around and takes deliveries. And the cat, of course, is winning with the majority of the votes. It'll probably be the cat miniature. And that'll be in September. You also get the Lancer Starfighter. And the 3DO Mark III bundle will be released sometime in September. Also, at the end of September, we're going to close tier 1 to where you can, on our tribe, it's $3 tier. You won't be able to rejoin it if you cancel, and no one else can get that one. It will be closed out at the end of September. And there'll be more information coming about what we're planning and we're seeing, but for now we're just going to close that one out, leave the $5 tier for now, and we're going to examine some things because we learned a lot of the payment processing fees on $3 transactions are disproportionately higher than any other price point, especially if someone has tax. It moves it just over our magical number, which means we get hit with another fee on top of everything else. So it's an awful thing to price them at $3. I've learned my mistake. Do not price things at $3. Which makes sense now why so many vending machines and such price sodas and stuff at $2.75. And then you go to like a resort area and then it's like $4.75. They always avoid that little range is a really non-profitable range from credit card processing. Enough about processing fees. That's not what you come here for. You didn't come for the timeline either, but you're going to hear it. The I still could be heard, I hope, because it does, the chat's not updating. Oh, ladders and hatches. That's what Albin is doing. Ladders and hatches. In fact, let me show you guys. Oh wow. See? There. Isn't that nice? I think it's nice. These are what Albin's shoots and ladders, but no, it's hatches and ladders, and it's the Second Dynasty version of the thing. Let's zoom in. Your printer needs help. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. I'm thinking of, you're still using 2.4. 2.5 on Prusa Slicer would have sliced this so much better. I also learned that the Prusa Mini has better print quality on surfaces than the Mark III, only because of its really terrible extruder. Avoids a looping pattern, interference pattern that gets made that creates these little weird lines, these thicker and thinner lines. There's a fix for it on the Prusa Mark III S Plus, but you have to like print a bunch of stuff and you have to offset your extruder gear, and it's very complex to get done. But a Bowden has it mitigated because the extruder is so far away. The difference back and forth is better. Anyway, still, lots of stringing. Do better work, Alvin. Like the printer is yours. You do excellent. I love this. I'm going to be very interested to see how this ladder hatch prints on most people's printers, because this would be very difficult to print accurately, because it's a bunch of that's actually an offset test, where you will print something and you try to make a bunch of circle dots around it. That would be a really interesting thing to see how it will be on a regular printer. On a non-calibrated printer, those probably just will vanish, or kind of like be smeared everywhere, or it'd be like a ring of lines trying to connect them up. Anyway, that's all I got. Do consider trying out slicing these in 2.5, because I think these are better, and I would like this one. And then see, I'm like critiquing you, and you're like way better than me, and I'm still critiquing. I would love to see this one printed with adaptive layer line. I feel like it could benefit from it. It's a small piece. Come on, please, for me? No? Okay. Anyway, let's go back to what I was talking about. Sorry about that. I have this dry, terrible, I don't like it. So in October, we will have the 3D Beowulf bundle in 3DO. This means you can play with it in October, but you may not be able to actually print it just yet. We'll also release in that month the Basilisk Starfighter to the tribe, and we'll let people in the tribe vote on the Beowulf first stretch goal. That's cool to me. You'll actually get the chance to say which one should be put first in the campaign. Now, we might end up actually choosing our own independent first one, and this may actually change out to be what will be the second stretch goal, or the first tribe selected stretch goal. I have to figure that out with Ben. This was an idea he bounced off me. He said, yeah, sounds good. All right, November, we're going to have the Starfire Fighter and the Talon Interceptor. Those will be both released at the same time in November to clear out, and then that means everyone in the tribe that stayed on this whole time would have gotten both Starfighter 1 and Starfighter 2. You also get to vote on a new Starfighter design. This will be done by Ben. The design will be done by Ben, and you'll get to pick between two different options. Then, and also, there'll be the 3DO Scout Ship Beta Bundle, because it's a Beta Centauri, so I want to make sure that's clear that's the Scout Ship Beta. And then in December, you'll get that new Tribe's exclusive 1 month for that 1 month Starfighter. We might even make it to where those Starfighters are exclusive until their whole set gets completed of Starfighter 3. We'll have to figure that out as we go along. There'll be a 3DO bundle. I don't know of what. Possibly maybe that Starfighter, maybe of another previous ship, or maybe just the tiles that people mentioned from the original original classic pieces from the very first Kickstarter. And we'll also have in December that vote on a 3DO feature focus like we did last time. See what people want me to really spend a little bit more time and focusing on from the previous list. And we'll see how that goes. December is pretty light and dry. There's another surprise hidden in December that I'm not putting right now. It's not the Beowulf. The Beowulf will probably be released maybe November, maybe early December without any of its stretch goals. I can't promise that. I'm not Ben. Alvin's probably calling Ben right now. John is giving away dates. I don't have dates. And those just expectations in my mind. I don't have proof from Ben. But make this timeline with him, he approved it, so I'm good with that. Then on January, we're all the way in January 2023, we're going to have another 1 month exclusive Starfighter. This will be the second one. You get to vote on the next new Starfighter design. There will be another 3DO bundle, and we're going to have a loyalty reward. I've been promised by My Mini Factory that loyalty rewards will be ready. We were told they'll be ready when we had launched, they'll be ready by late third quarter, but now I don't know when it's going to happen. It probably will happen. I'm not saying My Mini Factory is bad. I'm saying they just sometimes features get delayed. So I've been told that, yeah, I don't want the timeline to be like this is the rigid one. It's going to be changed. But there will be some loyalty rewards. And that will be anyone who's been there for longer, for 3 months, they'll get to have a vote on a bigger ship that will be released for free to everyone. This could be Delta, it could be the Scout Ship Beta, it could be, you can't pick newer ships, it'll be a limited selection of some of our older ships that have been released. And it can't be Traveler because we have a licensing and a weird trade deal around them. That's why it can't be Beowulf in addition to that. That blasted Samaflange, it's good to see you. Good to hear from you. And we'll have, unfortunately, at the end of January, before February bills, Tier 1 price will be increased to $3.50. Now, you remember all the way back earlier, I said in September, where we're going to close Tier 1 for new subscribers. Well, in January, even if you've already been on the tier, we are going to increase your price and only yours because of, again, we learned the processing fees on $3 are terrible. And if it goes even a penny over from taxes, it's even worse. And it makes significantly less. And it's a lot of transaction fees on $3 transaction. Do not do $3 transactions. 50 cents will almost cover the transaction fees we were seeing per transaction. Almost. Some of them are still over that even. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. That's everything I could think of. And then February is not truly filled out. You're getting another exclusive Starfighter, likely the one you voted on. Maybe the one you voted on will be in March, and February we just get a different Starfighter that Ben designed. And then you get another 3DO bundle and a generic crew pack 1. We've heard in the user feedback that people want to know what's coming in a general timeline, but they also want just generic crew that are doing basic, normal tasks. NPCs that they can fill their little games with. People just working with the wrench. People that... Oh no, I'm giving away market data to that blasted Samaflange. Alright, if this opens in this... Yeah. There you go. Okay. I'm clearly not well. But the generic crew pack will have people with wrenches doing, I don't know, wrenchy things, and there'll be people with like a little hollow thing or something, and just to be a bunch of collections and different random poses. That way you can have the ability to fill your ship with things, or fill your space dock, or fill your whatever you're making with your Second Dynasty things, because there is very few really thematic sci-fi miniatures. In fact, it's so unusual that we were very happy. I was very happy at seeing, if you have not, the Elven Corsair Survivors of the Fall, I think. Check this out. So there. This is the Elven Corsairs Survivors of the Fall. It's by That Evil One. I don't know why the name is That Evil One, but they're making sci-fi minis. Look at these. They are like a weird hybrid at times, but they look far, far more sci-fi. I shouldn't use the word weird. But see, look at this. Doesn't that look nice? Yeah. There's going to be neutral poses, waving, yeah, just random. That's actually in the crew pack 1 that was shown in the notepad. And that's releasing in February. But yeah, they have like this style. It's a really neat looking. This is not coming on our tribe. This is just something that I was reminded of that I wanted to show you all. This person, I've never heard of them before, and then this popped up, and I said, "Wow, they actually have a really good miniature." I'm going to try to reach out to them to see if they'd be willing to do a few minis for our tribe, but I don't know. I don't know if they do commissions, so I have to see. And of course, we still have a wonderful group of people that we were trying to include. We have Cult of Pickle, who have not been part of the tribe yet, but have been reached out to do a commission. I think they're busy right now. We have, who else is it? It's this person, Kaio Shiniko. Well, they're getting a chance. We have That Blasted Samaflange, who did the Drashun. Was it the Drashun? Or was it the Vincandi, that one? It was the Drashun because it was on a little gurney, I think. Yeah. And we have Papsicles, who did the very first tribe song. So we've gotten 3 of our 4 people. And that's pretty much our main thing. So I've covered, in 15 minutes, I've covered our timeline for the next 6 months-ish. There's still some things that need to be there, And I've also covered what Albin, Lisa Lot, and Ben are doing. So what's John been doing? It's been working. One moment. I'm going to just be right back. I'm going to just get a SEPA call or something to mute this. Okay, so hopefully everything's good now for me. I want to talk about 3DO. There's a known bug that's Unity's fault because I updated and the new version of Unity has a problem. Oh, you semiflange. I don't know what a semiflange is. I understood what you meant. Oh, I accidentally unmuted myself and I heard myself play back. So there was some new stuff in 3DO. Since the last few weeks, there was already the changeover to switch back to there was the bundle browser, has folders in it. You can now pick 3MF to import from. Your brush now will tell you about using R because people forget about that because it's not told. And bundles are sorted alphabetically. That's not always true. That's most of the time true, but sometimes it will still sort the old way because I forgot a call that redraws it, and it redraws it. It sends the call, but redraw doesn't send a resort. So I'm going to make it to where redraw has it rather than building or making the whatever the lowest call will have the resort. But that's later. And then the very next same day, I had loading older models was so slow. It was so glacially slow that I had to revert it. And I didn't notice it because I was on my computer. Then I pulled up the test computer, and it took like 8 minutes to load the Sleipnir. And I was like, this is terrible. Because, in 3DO it takes maybe a minute to load Sleipnir. So it was really bad. Then, the 16th of August, I even reverted it further to not do any compression because I was trying to run a compression algorithm during load, which was still slowing it down, but not as bad. And the export panel has a problem where it won't close sometimes, and it turns out there's a deeper bug there that's part of Unity's messed up. So I sent that to them to fix. And the about panel wouldn't close. That was my fault. It's a different bug. This is not related to this one. Because the close button, when it's far over here, all the buttons on the far right stop working in Unity at very select resolutions, and one of them happens to be a real resolution people's screens are. So I'm getting bug reports about it. Then I even did another update yesterday where your collections, they won't send an error report when you delete a collection. Don't know how I accidentally caused that. It was just a one-line trip up. And when you import a part, if you have optimized meshes turned on, it will now optimize the mesh. So that's a really cool thing. I want to show that off. And of course, file save, it will no longer auto pick app data to save a file for you. There's also a new help manual that you can read up that has a little Google Doc that you can read that tells you the instructions, keyboard shortcuts. It's still being worked on. I'm working on it today after the stream even. So let's take a look at import. It's going to show, oh dear. Oh well. I really wish it didn't just go straight to documents every time. That was on me though. You can go find out about my personal life. And let's go to the Mark IV shuttle. There we go. I also need to switch it to where I have a work computer and a personal computer. There we go. I want to show this off. Let's go to maybe I want a bigger file because it shows itself better. Let's pick pilot controls. This one has a lot of polygons. So it still loads pretty quick, but if you zoom in now, I have optimized meshes turned on. You'll see, especially around these little circular sphere pieces, that it's clearly been reduced in poly count. For the most part, it's designed to be unnoticeable from this distance, from a standard one, but it reduces the polygon count on some models significantly. I recently was testing some really cool models from the Dragon's Rest that were 1 million polygons, or triangles, I should say, because this is more accurate. 1.2 million triangles, and it reduced it down to 70,000 triangles, and it looked close. It looked really close to the original model, so I was very happy with that. And that was a bigger model too, though. And it figures it out in an interesting way. It scans the average area of the triangles and then determines that to know how much it needs to reduce quality by. Because that's a visual thing. If it's a bunch of tiny little triangles, no one's going to notice from this far away if I make the triangles all, less accurate. And that's a pretty cool thing. And it runs pretty fast too. Let's see if I can bring another one. Control I. Let's bring in another big one. The cargo bay cabin bottom. There. This one's also been optimized. It pretty much seems all the ones with like little roundy bits. I want to see if I can tell the optimization in this one. I don't. It looks. Okay, yeah, you could see tiny bits of optimization on this one. This one, it actually handled a lot better. It claims it only dropped it by like 30% of the polygons. And that's because it has big areas of, so it can allow itself to have little smaller areas too. Remember, it's the average of it. That looks pretty good. Huh. When this area got some optimizer, because that doesn't look as pretty. But yeah, let's try another one. Cargo bay cabin bottom. Oh, this one's almost the same. Yeah, this is just another example of one that it would do pretty much the same thing too. The big areas tell it. Yeah, there's only a tiny bit of optimization around that one. And it's reporting 0.4. The intention is, though, in the past, people were loading in. They would load in 20, 30-something tiles, and 3DO could handle it on a good computer when it was already slightly decimated. But people were throwing at it like hex hog tiles or sculpts instead, or miniatures, which are, very intensive. And you would just fill your graphics card, because no matter what your GPU is, it's not intended to be holding, millions and millions of triangles. Oh, sorry, I should correct myself. Tens of millions is starting to get the cap, and people would load like 20 something, 30 something, and it'd just be too much. This optimization feature is to make it run better when you get larger ships into the program. How astute are you? How dare you, that blasted Samaflange, assume that a bigger ship is coming? How did you read my redacted notes about that that I then unredacted? This is designed to make the Beowulf run significantly better. This is designed to make it to where other, like, just parts that I never even seen before, that I don't know about, run better in 3DO. It's able to look at it and say, I need to optimize this down because this will look better for that. And it looks through and does a reasonable job. And that's the best part, it's automated. It should always look good enough from afar. Let's take a look at one that it really liked to automate. It was, I really wish it didn't do that, because I have it set to only show the top window, but it keeps throwing stuff to the top window. So I'm like, what do I do? Oh, I deleted it. I had like a super massive 21 million poly model that was just, I went crazy with subdividers. It was like 97 megabytes as a 3MF. And I would import it into 3DO to test it with. It was ultra decimated and then randomized on the vertices, so you can't just use easy tricks to undecimate. It was designed to be a very hard to work with model, and it handled it. It did a great job. It looked very close. And it dropped the triangles to like 2% of the original amount. That's the most it's ever done, because that's a synthetic model. For sculpts, it does like 4%. For Ben's work, it normally does like 60 to maybe to as low as 40% less triangles. Sorry, 40 to 60% less triangles. And for like just basic cubes or simple shapes, it doesn't optimize at all. It realizes this is already optimized mesh. There's nothing to do. Why am I going to spend this expensive calculation on something that has like 300 faces? Not worth it. Well, this has been such a fun stream that has completely finished all its goals of discussing everything, getting everything done, and now I can go sleep. I did say I'll do some rover modeling. So why don't we do that? Let me pull up the mini rover. And it's taking its sweet, sweet time. Oh, I still have the... on this Blender, I have a different setting, so let me pull it up. Just give me one moment, and I'll get that in lickety-split. I like the word lickety-split. Makes me feel happy. Second Dynasty. Ships. Bundle. Wait, what am I doing? Tribes. Is it August? This is why why I normally don't wait this long between. I had to change focus. There we go. Whew. Now let me go to OBS and change the style because I don't want to be like this big. There we go. The new design, you clasp around this, and these little noodles, these are called noodles now, make it to where it all comes together. And the tire locks on over that. Now, why does this not feel right? Oh, this one won't have the lookup. So let me copy the location. This part, we had some locally made lollipops called Lickety Splitch back in my day, and they were a quarter. No, they were. What would be a lollipop in someone that taught like that? 5 cents a nickel? I remember as a child, I went to this really old-timey ice cream shop that was trying to mimic being like the early ones with the soda jerk and everything. And they had vending quarter machines, you know, for gum. And they had one of them took just a penny. You put a penny in and you would get a gumball. And they said this one's just for historicalness. It's not, you know, you can't. They let people use it, but like you weren't expected to abuse it. You're supposed to get one on the penny one. Yeah, I'm actually really fond of it too. It feels. Let me go grab one. Can I go grab one? Let me go grab one. I'll go grab one. So there's a teeny tiny bit of play on this. Pulling it up on the camera. I don't have a different screen, so you just gotta look at this lake while I'm getting stuff ready. I'm not as cool as Ben Malbray is. And this is not from this is from people listening to people and adjusting things. Here's the piece. This is just a sample piece. It's this part's just the fake. It's this part and this part are the same. It slides into it like that, and then you put in the pin. You use this actually is the hole for the chair. So the chair hole holds this end where you can't pull it back out, and it also holds the chair in. So it's doing dual purpose. And this is the base piece, and it just snaps in over this part. I use this really terrible PLA. It's called Amazon Basics. Someone bought it, not for me, but as like they said, hey, you could print stuff with it. and it's an awful filament. It truly is terrible. And I love them, and so I use it for testing only. But the moment this filament is done, I'm going to be so happy because I bought a bunch of printed solid Jessie PLA in gray, gunmetal gray, and it's an amazing material. I love Jessie filament PLA. It's almost like Prusament. Almost. I will say Prusament does slightly better in some situations that Jessie filament doesn't. But Jessie filament's also like half the price of Prusament. Actually, even less than that. But here's the wheel. It spins and does its thing when you move it around. Woo. When you print your tire, you need to set the seam to be randomized. Otherwise, you'll have a problem. This one is set to randomized, and it's way better. I was confused why it was binding before, and then that explained it. You also need to set randomized on this seam, on the axles. We should be. If anyone can confirm that I can be heard, let me know. Because this is, I know how awful that is. The other cool part is this little design. Yeah, the stream died for a moment because of reasons. The wheel has these little notches that you can see, and so it will successfully, and you have to put this in the right way. It will not let you put it in the wrong way because there's these little spokes. These spokes print just fine, little triangles. You can't put it in the wrong way. You can't flip it 180 because it just won't let you, and they are good. They force the rotation and keep them together, which was better than the old one because they could independently rotate, which was a mess. And the other cool part was this is the part I'm going to show. There's a little resistance, and now it's on this one, and a little bit more resistance, and now it's on this one. And you can actually put weight, not a ton of weight, but some weight on it, and it has a little bit of wiggle, but I'm okay with a little bit of wiggle for what we're getting. And then you go, oh, did I miss? It's really hard, it's really easy to miss the middle one when you're moving quickly, because as you're moving, just keeps, an object in motion seems to want to stay in motion until acted on by another force. They should write a law about that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. And I'm going to see if I can pull them apart. I don't go to the gym like Alvin does, but I do my exercises. I just do really simple ones. I'm going to use a tool. Let's see how I can break this apart. This is my pair of scissors from elementary school. This is from 3rd grade, because 1st grade wouldn't let me have scissors, but 3rd grade let you have scissors, so I got this one, and I wanted this color, and I still love this color. I mean, I've changed a little bit as I got older, but I just got lighter. Yeah. Let's see how hard it is to pop them off using scissors. If I break these on the stream, that'll be pretty funny to me. In fact, I'm not going to do this with these scissors. I'm going to do this with the ones I don't like. I don't know what I was thinking. No, this does not want to come undone. Glad I didn't try to use my you cannot test for dry fit on this. Once it's snapped in, it is snapped. That's gonna be a very hard thing for people to trust that because once you snap it, there's no way to disassemble this Rover. This Rover would not be a good actual design for a real car, because imagine they telling you, oh, you gotta replace your tire, just throw out your entire, you gotta disassemble your rear chair, slide out your axle and bearings and tire, then throw that piece out and order a new back tire, 2 rear axles, and snap them together on location. Please don't hurt yourself, John. You're too valuable. The only valuable person in Second Dynasty is Ben, as a reminder. Everyone else is disposable. Did you hear that, Ben? I mean, it's a... I don't know what's an Rover. Is that... Are you making fun of my speech or how I speak? Or is that something... Is that a real car or something else that's really way too hard to maintain? This also makes a really good fidget toy because it makes a... It makes these little... You can hear the little clicks as you play with it. Oh, it's something made by Apple. I thought I slurred my speech. I don't speak very well when I'm very ill. So, considering the intention is you assemble this and you're done, I don't really have space to put a hole in that small of an area. And there's 2 snap holes, and one of them is even smaller than 0.75. So you would have to have a very good metal piece to poke it through. That'd be very hard to design for. And it's not intended to come apart anyway. I could also just make this connection looser and not have all these bevels and everything to help you guide it in and lock it in. But I'm too lazy. So let's actually start something today. If I move this here, it should get, yep, it gets its hole. And this one I think is the same, isn't it? This is just a, let me make sure. Nope, I did replace this. Yeah, it is. Yeah, oh, so Apple made something that you had to completely just, yeah. That seems about right. Yeah, this is meant to be like it's not meant to be, but it is going to be like a kid's toy. Uh, and that was totally not intentional. I'm just not good at it. Maybe we could even do something cool like I don't know. Left, Alt Z. Yeah, there's a little piece here, and the filament kind of gets stuck a little bit more when it gets through this. And this is meant to just grip it a tiny bit. I've barely done anything. I really like this shape. This shape came out wonderfully. It prints well too, and I even did my order for filament for the month, and I forgot to order TPU. I was going to order a flexible filament to test printing an RC tire. But the RC tire car community, little 3D printer is intense. They are intense. So what do we have? That's for our Boolean. That's our bounds. This is the bottom exploration. And that's, oh, the bottom piece is not as long as it's supposed to be. And I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to print this piece. I'm thinking I might split. The chairs can technically swivel, but I'm going to lock them in place. There's only one, filament piece holding it in. So I'm going to adjust that to be where it's. The chairs are meant to work also with the Second Dynasty spots that are swivel based. So I'm going to add like a sketchy thing. I'm trying to remember, how do I sketch in this? I think it's this panel. I'm gonna add like a design that like holds it here, and it like goes designed to fit and snuggy and hold him. Something like that. I'm designing it for the Actually, let's just do like something like that. And then how do I do the eraser? There's a lot of fun to this pen. I don't use this annotate tool very often, so I'm just thinking about it. And then and you'll go right. And that's what holds the, yeah, you could still reach behind you and grab things if you really needed to. Yeah, something like right there. I mean, it'll be proportionately be actually over here, but you get. I'm trying to avoid actually starting, which tells me right after this is done, I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna rest some more. Still fighting this. But I wanted to give all of you an opportunity to see what's going on. Oh, you will be able to. Busted. It uses the same hookup here. The only part that will matter is you need to make sure that their chair width, if your chair width is wider than a Second Dynasty chair, it won't fit in the Rover. But if it's the same width or less, it should be able to fit. So if someone really wants the original Second Dynasty style chairs with the adjustable, tilt back. I mean, it's not actually able to tilt, but it has like a design for it. The tilt back here and the headrest, they can get that, and they can print it and pop it in the same spot, and it will fit. Just you lose a little cargo space and a little leg room, and some minis may not be able to fit. But some minis already can't fit, but our minis can. Does that answer the question, Blasted? Unless you were making a joke. I think your chairs fit the same base area, and then you just go bigger or smaller after a moment, so that would still work with this. Okay, we're actually at 10:05, which means we're almost done with the stream now. We've streamed for so long. We streamed for over, oh no, not over an hour yet, but we're really close. So let's just think about what we're gonna do. Use the chairs and the armrests, Micah. I want to make this, and I'm going to print this, and then I'm going to make people test print it. It's not going to be like sold or anything. It's just, it makes me laugh, and I'm going to show you what I had an idea for. So I'm going to do add circle. I'm going to create like a doily kind of shape thing that, like, you print it and you print it flat like that, and it will have like some design in it with empty holes and spaces, and you would print it out, and then you would put it on your heat bed again, and turn your heated bed up to like 90 or 100, something really designed to get that thing soft. And then you would pop it on and like that, and then it would you would pop it on. I want to show you what it would do. Let's do subdivide just real quick because I'm too lazy. Okay, and then it would shrink wrap. Let's see if shrink wrap does this. Yeah, something like this. Oh, I don't like this. I want it to like project down. I think there's a projection instead. Let me see if there's a I'm too lazy. I'll just model it. And then you would like heat it up and you would get something like this. You would get like a little granny style doilies for your Second Dynasty ships. That's what I'm not going to charge Ben for that. Well, technically I am charging him for it because I'm doing this on the stream and I charge for stream time. So. And you would like there, and there'll be like some design to it or something. And then you'll have like little doilies and or whatever they're called on chairs. It's the only thing I modeled today. Isn't it beautiful? Just the best. I think it'll be cool. Yeah, like a beaded seat cover. That's what I'm thinking of. Aerospace. I'm thinking of grandma thing. That's the crochet. But yeah, beaded something hilarious. Maybe the chair filament peg does not keep the rover together. It does not keep it together. It helps it stay together just by the nature of it keeping this thing from moving. However, the amount of force required to move that piece out is a lot. So once it's in, you shouldn't fear. You shouldn't have to put. I don't have a filament clip filament in it. You can leave that as a whole and do whatever you want with that one. You could put a mini with base in it. Anything that you can hold with a piece of filament, can go in that hole and it will hold it well. Or you can just leave it bare and or you can just shove a piece of filament in and then cut it right there to plug it and just have it as a back area and just say that's some kind of drain hole or something fictitiously to let it for play. So this area does not have to be a chair, because I was thinking you could just you could print it, put the plug hole in it, cut it, and then have a nice big backseat trunk. That's what it's called. Anyway, that's yeah, there you go. That's it. I got a message and I had to respond to it. Beaded seat. But is it wide enough? Say Asha standing. What's the size of a base? What is the size of a base? Do we have bases? Just this is sad. I have no idea. I have no idea if I never look at our miniatures ever. Aside from when I have to, because I don't have a resin printer. I don't want to spend the money to get a resin printer, but I am getting a Revo Micro. And I was told if you use the smallest nozzle that comes in the Rover Micro fully loaded kit on a Prusa Mini, and you dial in your settings to be 100% infill, you are able to make something. I think I accidentally misunderstood scale by 1. There you go. I was off by 1 more. And I knew it too, because I do this all the time. I use a different scale internally inside Blender because it works better for what I'm doing. Let's add a circle. And you said a standard circle is, you said 25 millimeters. Oh. That doesn't sound right. What do you mean by the size of the base? Because this is 25 millimeters. And it's, so what did you mean? What's the actual radius of a base is what I should have asked. Because right now the ship is, this is a real accurate dimension because we're at the near the cap. You technically have up to that much space. And this was reached by putting them in a Mark IV shuttle, making sure there was space to the right and left. A mini could get between them and that the door could close. So you have 1.5 centimeters of space in the... So I don't know if a base would actually fit there. Well, that's it for me then, because I don't hear any other feedback. So I'm listening. If you have a dimension, we'll figure it out, and maybe you could easily, because there will be like a downward gap here where it will go lower for a moment. You could like put a riser in there, like a platform that puts it above, and then you have a spot that you could put someone. Or you make the riser go up to like here, and then it sits over this whole area and it fills this gap in it. So it would put their base like here instead, and they could be like, this could be like the cache of cargo that then extends out like more box-like, and or even like sits on top of this and has its own little mini walls or whatever you want. But it's, yeah, that could totally be done though. And that's even cooler because it's like a like this is the cache of cargo you're trying to transport on this cartoon kids toy, and they're being shot at and all that, and you have like, it's right below your feet and it's explosive, and you have your gun and you're going going through the canyons, and there's music, and this is not very fast. So it's like it's a really slow chase sequence, just like in that Boba Fett series where they have the Power Rangers, and it's really slow, that scene. But you can recreate that with this slow bike. I think that's it. I think I should stop. It's been a joy. Ben will be back next week because his holiday is over, so he'll be streaming. He will do some cool stuff then. Ciao.